it's me, Erica, and it's been a while, but that's not the point of this video. It's actually going to be talking about Free Dive into the Future, episode 1, which is the 3rd season of Free. Yeah, I have a lot of feelings about it. I thought I was going to cry during the first episode. I think because I was watching it with friends, I didn't cry because I was like emotion. It was like feeling like it was coming back home. So in this video, I'm pretty much just going to discuss my feelings towards the first episode. I don't know if this will be like an episode by episode kind of video, like where I like kind of discuss my feelings about Free every Wednesday when it does come out, even though it's not coming out on Wednesday because I've been procrastinating on videos. But I don't know if it'll be like a weekly thing. I would like it to be a weekly thing because I love Free that much, but I think it's just, we'll see how it is, because this isn't really a review kind of video, because I'm not really that good at making reviews, to be honest, because I'm just like, it's so good, blah 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 blah. So I think that is, what was I saying? I think that is what I'm trying to make this video, is more like discussion, so we can discuss about Free in the comments below if you are watching it this season. So with episode 1, so kind of preface what I'm gonna like say right now. I've watched all the seasons of Free and also the movies that came before the 3rd season. However, I did watch it at a watch party at my house with my friends, Mia, Monica, and Michael, or Fame Shaman on YouTube. But they had watched the previous seasons, but not the movies that were entailed. So I'm gonna kind of bring their opinions on the episode comparing to mine, just so that if you are gonna plan to watch season 3, to look out for if you really need to watch the movies, which I think you need to watch at least 2 of the 4 movies before to be understanding what's going to be coming with season 3. So when they watched season 3, they kind of got like blindsided by how many new characters there were because of the introduction of Ika, Asahi, and the 2 other senpais that were more introduced in High Speed. And I think I think it was Yukia's roommate that is also introduced in Take Your Marks, which was the recent movie that came out. So they were kind of blindsided by that fact, and they were like, there's so many people in the story that they didn't know like how to focus, but they still were able to enjoy the anime without watching those movies still. However, I had watched those movies, so I had to explain to them at the end like, oh, these are these so and so characters, and yeah, that's the main part of the story. But I still enjoyed it, they still enjoyed it, even they hadn't watched movies. But watching the movies is kind of it's super essential because they still enjoyed it even though there was like new characters. But if you don't want to be blindsided by that fact, go watch those movies before, then watch season 3. For the movies, there's 4 of them. I'm just gonna like kind of get a rundown because I've realized this by those 2 opinions, is that you really should watch High Speed and Take Your Marks. The 2 recap movies are not super essential. The only essential part of the recap movies is really the last scene from one of the movies that I can't remember, where Sosuke sees Ukiya like swimming like Haru, but that was only like at the super end. It was like only like a 30-second thing, so it's not super important. Main one is High Speed because it introduces the characters that are going to be introduced into their college lives later on, which is Ukiya, Asahi, and the 2 other senpais. I can't remember their names for the life of me, and how they interacted with Makoto and Haru, as well as some of the appearances of Nagisa and Rei added into it. But it's not a super like, I don't want to say like, it's an essential movie in the sense you get introduced to the characters that will appear in season 3, but I don't really remember what happened in High Speed because it was almost like they just swam with another team and then here's the numbers. Because they didn't go into the fact, because this is when Haru was still swimming, and this is pre-Rin, like pre that battle with Rin before Haru quit swimming. That kind of scene just got explained a little later in, I think, Take Your Marks or one of the recaps, but it wasn't that large either. It's just because of that thing with Rin that he stopped swimming. and that was really introduced in season 1, but you get the aftermath of that in the recap movie. But I'm telling you, the recap movie is not that essential. I just really liked it because it brought everything back and kept you up to speed, and with some extra scenes. And then also getting there, Take Your Marks is also an essential movie to watch before season 3, just because it's more of like quote-unquote filler episodes of it before season 3, but you get really introduced to the college life and how everyone's doing before the actual season starts. You see the older versions of the characters that you were introduced in High Speed, and also like Makoto and Haru's life in college, and also Nagisa Rei's and Ko's life after they have graduated. Mako and Haru have graduated, and how they're gonna do the swim club. And as long as also there's a lot more Kiss-Me in here, in the filler episodes, and also in the High Speed, and also the leading up to season 3, where he seems to be more involved in this because he is going to college in Tokyo also, whereas in season 2 he was more like a bonus character in the series. So enough of my rambling about the 4 movies you need to watch before season 3, but season 3 in general was really awesome. I really liked the characters. It felt like I was coming back home to them, and even though there was a lot of characters, because we had like all these movies and all these seasons, it didn't feel like it was rushed and everyone had their ample screen time. And I feel like what I'm trying to say here is like there was a balance of all the characters' screen times, and the ones you wanted to see, most of them had screen time. The ones you are gonna get to know later, they had screen time. It was really cool in the aspect that you saw the old pre-individuals and the new ones interacting, and you can see the battle that's gonna brew between Haru and Ikuya now that they're in college. However, I don't know what storyline they're gonna go with Rin, because Rin is in Australia and doing the swim team there. They're probably gonna meet up at the end, Rin and Haru, and have this match at the Olympics probably. I'm just saying, like, it seems a little more focused this time around on Ikuya and Haru, and I don't know what Rin's conflict is because he's alone in Australia, but it seems like there will be, because of the manager guy, or the guy that lived in Tokyo that's talking to him in Japanese during that one match where they like had the scene with Haru and Rin like racing and they're looking for each other. That was pretty cool too. I also liked how Asahi and Haru met. They felt like that's how you would really meet an old friend in college. And I liked how they just met up in a way that they're just catching up, rather than having this whole backstory of like, oh, what happened to blah 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 blah. I don't know if I'm making any sense what I'm saying. I just have a lot of feelings. But I just liked how there wasn't anything negative about how he left the swim team. They're just catching up, as opposed to like Ikuya, who is angry at Haru, it seems like, in there. So I feel like Asahi and like what they could have done is like Asahi and Ikuya could have been mad at Haru and Makoto for leaving, but it feels like Asahi's very okay with that. Like he accepted it. So I liked how there's just one antagonist in the terms of like who hates Haru, who hates I always put quotation marks because they don't really hate each other, but like I feel like they did really good in that we don't have to see like too many people angry at everyone, as opposed to just one person, because I don't know, there's so much. And going back to there's a lot of people, I also think that's really cool that there's so many people and we've known these people for such a long time that we know who they are and then we see them grow, as opposed to something that might have a lot of characters, like something like Brothers Conflict that had 12 characters and you introduced it all in one episode. But in this one you do get introduced, but you've known a lot of them for so long that it doesn't feel like a packed episode. I remember after like I felt like I was only watching for 5 minutes, but it was like 20, because the episode's 20 minutes, but I was like, man, this like was so enjoyable and so fluid that I really liked it. Probably last comments, I really like the music on this. The opening, of course, was really good. It's very angsty. All the free openings end up being so angsty, and the ending is always so happy, and I really like the ending. I probably want to do like a cosplay with like a group of people doing like the ending credits, like where they're all formal wear, because Ko is in there and I always cosplay Ko, and I need a new cosplay for her because she is my favorite cosplay to do, but there's not so many outfits where she's in, so I want to try to do that and find people to cosplay with. So with that, that's all my feelings for season 1 of Free. Season 1. That's all my feelings on season 3, episode 1 of Free. Dive into the future, or dive to the future. Not dive into the future, I always mess that up. And yeah, so let me know in the comments, what did you think about this episode? Did you like it? Was it what you were expecting? I just want to talk about Free. I have friends talk about Free in real life, but I'm like, they're not like super hardcore like I am, so I need people to talk to about Free. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, and have a nice day and nice season if I end up doing this for the rest. I hope we enjoy Free, we cry and everything, so yeah. Bye!